Hello everybody, you're watching the coding series in which I will be explaining about how do you create a shopping product, or how do you check for ordering your shopping things that you purchased. How do you count them? How do you calculate them? So we're going to create a simple, or one of the simplest programs for shopping list for calculation. I mean, you will know what I'm talking about. How do you actually do the thing using classes and objects? So I'm just going to name my thing as order, or purchase your order, calculate your order. So that's going to be our title of the thing. So we're just going to put this at the top, and I will be explaining to you how this actually works. Okay, let's get started. So the first is you need to have a common class, right? So that's going to be a class. So let's assume we create our class name order, okay? And now we're going to create a skeleton structure. Now that we have got our class order, we're going to create another class which is going to be named as integer main. So that's going to be integer main in here, okay? Oops. With a open close as this structure braces, okay? That's what we're going to do in here. I'm just going to expand this so that you could get an idea of how the things work. Okay. Now in this class and order, we're dividing it into two sections. We're dividing into one section according to the access specifiers, and we will divide it to second section again due to access specifiers. And what are access specifiers? Access specifiers are private, protected, and public. Okay, in here we're going to write an access specifier, which we're going to give that as private, because in this function what we're going to do is we're only going to mention the data types. So in here we're just going to mention the data type. So let's assume we create integer flow, let's say I don't know, float grade, and let's say characters, which is going to be characters hello, yeah, let's say 23. It's a semicolon. Alright, so that is going to be private, and here this one is again going to be divided into two functions, and the reason is because this right here will be given as input data function. So we're going to create a function to input data, whereas this function for output. Okay, and that's how the thing is going to work. Let me just make sure that this is for this. Whoa. Okay, so this is going to be an access specifier which will be called as, certainly not private, it will be public. So you type public and create this as public access specifier, and that's how things are going to work. Simple as that. Now what we're going to do in the int main section is very simple. We're going to create an object. Okay, so let's say we're taking this class order right here. Okay, let me choose different color. Class order right here, and then we're just going to go with the same name order. This order will be the same as order over here, and then here is the object name which we're actually giving. So the object name can really be anything according to your preference. So let me just expand and show how this works. So that's going to be order, and that's going to be, say, a den, a lion's den. Okay, so that's really it. And then you're going to take this very same name as den and take as dot whatever function you're taking. So assuming that our function name here itself is input data and output data, So what we're going to do is we're going to go for den. So I'm just going to show how this works. We're going to go for den dot input with a function, and then to display or to output the data, we're going to be like den dot output with open close brackets and semicolon. Let me just show you with a darker example. And then the next step is pretty obvious. You just gotta go with cin.get, which technically means to, the program has to stay in whatever. You can also type cin.get here so that the program can stay. In some computer systems you don't really have to do this trouble, so you can always, mark off like this so that it's never counted in. And this is the entire program for calculate your order, and I think this is really helpful. In our series I will be explaining you how the thing actually works, so stay connected, right? So this is our main program, in which we actually took three preprocessor headers, or three headers, such as iostream, Codio.h, and we do not really need this math.h, but I like adding it sometimes. So moving on, I used using namespace standard, and I created a constant integer, and I'll let you know why I did that. So the structure that we just studied is the same thing, and we created a class item in which we divided into two sections. One is access specifier 1 private, access specifier 2 public. Okay. Now the private section, as you can see, this right here, and the public section. The private section is only data types, okay, only data types. Simple as that. That's private. But public is again divided into two sections. One is the function, which starts all the way from here and ends in here, and we have second function within the same class, or say the access specifier 2 public, which is going to be display data, right? And that's how we're doing it. And here is the space where we're actually closing the class, and then we're creating integer main. And the reason why I actually created a constant z was because I wanted to make sure that the program records again and again. So this time is just 2, so everything's going to record 2 times, or is going to repeat 2 times, which means that this function is enter data, which is going to be for input, is going to go for 2 times within the loop, because you see this is enter data, correct? We did the same thing in here. Enter data, we created an object, and then we put it in a loop where z has to repeat 2 times, and the reason is because the constant integer z is equal to 2. That is the entire reason why. Okay. Now the second idea is, while we're doing this for 2 times, we're also doing this for 2 times. Okay. And when you see in here, not only did we create a for loop for enter data, we also created a for loop for display data, which means that this is also going to input. That means we're going to input this 2 times, and then the display function will show everything that we input. And here, this is the function, because this is a great function, a C++ function, by the way, to help you load your program and help you compile it. Alright, let's go ahead and check what's happening. Alright, we got something in here. Let's check it out. So it says enter the name of the item. So let's say, I don't know, I'm just buying some gold. Gold. Alright, enter your rate for the item. Let's say, let's just give some simple numbers, and the reason is because if you really want bigger numbers, you have to put long or something extra, to make sure that the computer can actually calculate them. So since I did gold is just a fake gold, and the fake gold is about, I don't know, 2,500. I don't know. I'm just making up. I don't really know about it. So the quantity to find the amount. So I'm just gonna write something fake just to make sure everything's right. Now this is the first time. You see, this record is the first time. It asks me the same question. Enter the name of the item. So this thing is really repeating once more. So I'm just gonna write the same thing. So since the gold, we're gonna go for diamond. And enter your rate for the amount. So 2500. And enter the quantity to find the amount. So we're gonna go for 200. And let's check it out. Whoa! So 2500 and 200 is the same, the correct amount, and your item is gold. Your rate is 2500. Your quantity is about 100, and your amount is about 2 lakh. And this is also about the same, not the same. It's about 5 lakh instead of 2 lakh. So yeah, that's the entire code. So I will be showing you how to do this entire code right away. So watch my next tutorial, watch my next video if you are really interested to know how the program to create a shopping list actually works. And it's pretty simple. This is just a basic surface idea of how the code is and what we did. In the next class, we're actually going to work on it, and we're actually going to build the entire software. Alright, thank you for listening and watching. I hope you understand, and I hope my explanation was easier for you to understand. In the next tutorial, I hope to see you again. Goodbye.